Hey y'all, it's y'all bear with me here. This is Antonio with another episode of Thus saith the Lord unto me. So such as I have, give I unto thee. How y'all doing today? It's been a minute. Been on a little sabbatical. I had to go up in the mountains for a little bit. I thought I was leaving, going down, and then it was like, hold up. So uh, I was up there for a little while, you know, and I say I needed some clarity. I have to admit I've been fasting all week, so hopefully it don't show in any of my videos. And now that it's over with, I can reveal that. But I've been fasting for clarity. I don't know about that. It's that Fred. That's what's been in my spirit all week. I don't know if it's too loud or what, but I guess we'll find out. I don't know. I've never had music in the background, but it is what it is. So, how y'all doing? This is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. The day. It's evening now. Yeah, it's evening now. But the evening and the morning were the first day. This is the day. Um, what can I say? The Lord has put a lot of things in my heart. Like I said, it's like being Moses up in the mountaintop. I had to sit in His presence and seek Him out. He dropped something on me. I think I mentioned that in one of the videos. He said 51, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned that in the video. If it wasn't that video, it was one that I had released, which would have been Thursday. Yeah, I was so tired and wore out. I was really rough, bug-eyed, because I just woke up, and I felt kind of embarrassed about it. And then I was listening to some of the things that you guys were saying, and I realized that it had a lot of confirmation to it. So I probably should have, dropped it. But again, I had been sitting down. It's like I had to take a seat, have a seat for a little bit. God is faithful. He's faithful when we're not. He's faithful. But it's a lot of things He was talking about. We was, I can't get it. I can't listen to this because it's so messed me out. Yeah, that's. Ooh, give me the. I feel it. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, that's that. That's throne room worship. Yeah, I can't. But that's what was playing while I was hearing, 51. So I looked up 51. And I dug into the, first I was looking at Strong's Concordance about 51, and it said it gave two references, and then I ended up going into Scripture, and it was, I got Psalms 51, and I also had Isaiah 51. And tonight I would like to read a little bit of Isaiah 51. Because there was a dream that He gave me today. This is not something that I wasn't really into being a pattern, because this is something that you guys do, and I'm not really, I just say, whom God calls, He calls. Whom God qualifies, He qualifies. I'm not a prophetic dreamer, but lately He's just been giving me this little stuff, and I don't fully know what we're doing, and that's why I was sitting up in the tent before, sitting up in the tent of meeting, having a conversation. It's a lot of things. First and foremost, I'm gonna say, this is, I got rid of all my gray. My daughter gives me a hard time about my gray. She's like, Dad, you always dyeing your beard black. You need to just let your gray show. And I tell her, baby, that's not dye. patience to pluck each and every gray that is in my beard. So if you see any of the other videos, you know that I've had a lot of them in there. And there's still a few silvers in there hiding. They didn't want to act right. But let me explain about a gray. Grays are like two different things. And I'm about to say something. This is about to be that little, what's it, message. Grays are stubborn, very stubborn hairs. They're really coarse. Mine come in white and silver and gray. Most of the time it's silver. My dad's beard is completely white. Santa Claus white, and that's his magnet. You know, he got the sex appeal magnet, and that's his deal. It's not mine. But eventually one day, I'm sure this will probably all go white. But needless to say, it ain't today. But the thing about gray is that it's very coarse. All right, and it's stubborn, so it doesn't want to lay down with the rest of the hair. So because of that, it's really easy to get to after it's full grown, or when it's long. Because if I brush this down, just hold it, all the grays will just start popping out. Because they can't stay in uniformity. They can't stay with the rest of the black. They have to pop out. Okay, so according to the scriptures, say there was a man. There was a man who had a field and had sown seed in the field. Paraphrasing. And at night, the enemy came in and sowed tares amongst the wheat. And when they got up the next morning, he said, "Who has done this thing?" And the enemy must have done this thing. Should we pull up the wheat? Pull up the tares? He said, "No. We have to wait until it's full grown. At least we pull up the wheat with the tares." That's the problem with the gray. The gray, it's intertwined and mingled with the black hairs. So if I pull it out, I'll pull a plug out because I pull it out and it's coming from the root. So I have to wait until it gets full or long enough, and then one little single strand will just come out real easy. And it's not too much pain, but it takes patience. The wheat and tares, gotta wait until they're full grown. See, the wheat is, of course, it's fruit, but the tare is poisonous. It carries the poison. It give you a stomach ache if you eat it. It make you sick. There will be a time when the Lord separates the sheep from the goat. The goat is a representation of those that have a rebellious spirit, those that have rebellion. They're likened into witches because the sin of witchcraft is as a rebellion. That's how they go. Pretty sure. Paraphrase. We're gonna paraphrase it all because I know that there's people that are really to the letter, and I don't want to offend anybody else. I love y'all. I love y'all with the love of Christ, and I have to admit, I heard all of that. I heard a lot of that. All I can say is that I forgive you. That's for I forgive you. I see you. I love you. All of you. It's a lot of y'all. When I say I love you, please understand I don't know you. None of these people know me. So we go ahead and be clear. None of y'all know me. The only I have to admit there's one person that know me. That's it. And we I guess me and her have an understanding because she knows that I love her with the love of Christ for real, and she's probably the only person that could vouch for me, but she can't necessarily do that because, you know, sometimes I question whether or not she thinks I'm, you know, by saying people go through things, you know. So, you know, it seemed like a lot of my, yeah. So I'll address it this way. Some people just want to rise. Okay. Some people just want to be seen. Some people want to know that I see them. And there are some that are in just rebellion. There are some that have been hurt by male persuasion, and all men are, you know, got some kind of vindictive, you know, underhanded something going on. And then there's those that just, you know, they don't know about it. My daughter is like that. You know, those that are parents understand that your children will act out sometimes, just because they want your attention, just because you put more into this child, you know, and not enough in this child. So you start seeing them act out in school, and now you know what's your response. Well, if you reward me with attention by me acting out, then I'm teaching you that in order to get my attention, you gotta act a fool. You gotta slander. You know? So, like I said, I'm not even mad. I love you with the love of Christ. I'm sorry that you feel however you feel about me. For all those who do, I pray for you, and I have been praying for you. That's what it means to go in the secret place. It means to pray. You're praying. You're up there. As I already mentioned, I've been fasting. So I fasted and I prayed, and I've been seeking His face because that's what He told me to do. He told me to seek it. I make intercession. I also mentioned that I stand on the wall. So a lot of times it's this is what you see is really me. But there's no way of knowing it. So this is me trying to give you a little consistency so that you can learn to know a person. You don't know me unless it's consistent. That's how you know a person. So, for instance, you know, your spouse, you will know them by their consistent ways. You know, I know that around this time, my wife is going to be cooking dinner. You know, so I already know she's going to flip out about that. So I need to make sure that I've washed my hands and I don't smell like oil and stuff. So that when I sit at this dinner table, she's not going to give me a hard time. That's just knowing. So it's in the consistency. So that's it. I just hope that I show up consistently in a way that where I can, you know, gain the trust with, of course, nothing in return, because you can't leave me any messages. I've sown into most of you. You can't sow into me. And you want to sow into me, you can give to the homeless. You can, sow into your church, you know, that is doing the will of God, you know, yeah, if that's on your mind, because there's those over here that's acting a fool, and there's those over here, but again, it is what it is. Now, lastly, I'm daddy's baby. Nobody comes for daddy's baby. So, like I said, I forgive you. The worst thing I can do to you is real simple. It's not to curse you. All it is to say, Lord, forgive them. They know not what they do. Why is that the worst thing? Because now he has to take that on his shoulder. Now he has to consume that part that I have given to him. It is cast my cares on him, for he cared for me, or daddy's baby. So that's it. So let's get into this word, and I won't be before you long, because this is my start of my weekend. I ain't ate, man. I ain't ate nothing, so I'm about to get into some DoorDash or something. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even ordered this, but I got to be about his business first. So you guys are his business. So this is a lot. And I remember reading all this. Yeah, because I was reading all that. Then I almost broke down in tears when I was reading that part. And you know what? It is what it is. Should I get because this is not bright enough. We're going to make sure it is, because I don't see me like that. Okay, this is Isaiah 51. Hearken unto me, ye that follow after righteousness, ye that seek the Lord. Look unto the rock whence ye have hewn, and to the hole of the pit whence ye are digged. Look unto Abraham your father, and unto Sarah that bare you. For I called him alone, and blessed him, and increased him. For the Lord shall comfort Zion. He will comfort all her waste places, and he will make her wilderness like Eden, her desert like the garden of the Lord. Joy and gladness shall be found therein, thanksgiving and the voice of melody. Remember earlier this week I was talking about Zion. I was talking about that message, well, that dream he gave me at the end of when I woke up. He said something about I heard Holy Hill. No, I heard Hill. No, I didn't. I heard a number. The number represented Hill, and I said the only hill I can think of was Zion, the Holy Hill of God. Yeah, it's okay. That's why I was like, okay, Lord, that's what we're doing. Okay. So hearken unto me, my people, and give ear unto me, O my nation, for a law shall proceed from me, and I will make my judgment to rest for a light of the people. My righteousness is near, my salvation is gone forth, and my arm shall judge the people. The isles shall wait upon me, and on mine arm shall they trust. Lift up your eyes to the heavens, and look upon the earth beneath. For the heavens shall vanish away like smoke, and the earth shall wax old like a garment, and they that dwell therein shall die in like manner. But my salvation shall be forever, and my righteousness shall not be abolished. Hearken unto me, ye that know righteousness, the people in whose heart is my law. Fear ye not the reproach of men, neither be ye afraid of their revelings. That was personal. I took that kind of, that was like a low blow for me, because I don't know how many times I pulled back a word because I was afraid I was going to offend somebody because of a word that somebody had already spoken. So that part for me, it hit me kind of low. It reminds me of when he said, I am but a little child. And he said, say not that thou art but a little child. And it, he goes into detail to say, be not afraid of their faces. And I can't remember all the rest of it, but he was talking to, I want to say it was Samuel? I'm not sure. Not positive, but I'm pretty sure it was Samuel. I know he was talking to the prophet. So, but anyway, sorry. You know what? I ain't got to keep apologizing. We rolling. Let's roll. You rolling with me? If you over here, rock with me. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not for you, it's okay. I love you with the love of Christ. Take care. So yeah, if you rocking with me, let's rock together. Okay, so yeah. For the moth shall eat them up like a garment, and the worm shall eat them like wool. But my righteousness shall be forever, and my salvation from generation to generation. Now, I'll pause right there. Okay. Which, y'all know this is paperback. But I don't have no, I don't want to pull out none of these extra. Yeah. Right there. Okay. So let me break this down. I went into it. I had a dream last night, right? And in the dream, it's simple. It was a simple dream. I have to, bear with me. So I was dreaming that I was on somehow or another I was in the past. Okay, somehow I was in the past, and I got a hold of some seeds to a plant. I won't go into the detail of the seeds because you know what? I don't care. Yeah, it's not. But see, no, I do care. I do care. We can't. All right, so. See, I don't know if I'm going to get flagged on here. So I don't know if that's even an issue or not because I'm speaking about it was some seeds for some, extracurricular activities, okay? But it was the old seeds before genetic modification, all right? So that's how far back this was that I was in the past. Well, I ended up getting these seeds, and I grew them in a little bag, and I set the bag in some kind of little hidden place in the middle of nowhere. It's like somewhere, it had no relevance. All right. So later on, I come back for it, and this was in the future, and this was pretty far in the future. But the weird thing was that even though it was far in the future, it only sprouted up this far, so it was still young, all right? But the seed itself was still attached to the bottom of the root, and it had roots and everything. Now, here was the weird part. The roots had worms all around it. It was consumed by completely worms. But the thing was about the worms weren't eating the plant. They were eating some kind of fungus that was growing on the plant or in the root system of the plant. Now, I know that that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. Worms bring nitrogen, which brings it's food for actual plants. That's why you can use worm castings and stuff like that. Those that know anything about that. I wasn't that. No, don't see. This is why. Because I realized I'm talking to a multitude of people, and they're like, "Oh yeah, he just was out there in the streets." No, I wasn't. Okay, no, I wasn't. I just know a little bit of everything, just a little bit of something. You just pick up stuff along the way. You learn how to, do little stuff. That's all. So anyway, like I was saying, so the worms were a good thing because it was eating this fungus that was around the roots, which would have produced, which would have helped the plant anyway. And then even the worms dying is another supply of nitrogen. So the worms could have been eating themselves. The dead worms will eat they will cannibalize. Anyway, so that was the dream. And I don't remember him saying nothing. There was nothing said, nothing. That was it. And I woke up. And I was happy. I didn't want to dream about worms and no plant, So the significance was that it was the type of plant, which the word marijuana is not a bad word. Marijuana, which I don't. I'm trying to stay on topic, y'all, but okay. That ain't none of my business. That ain't none of my business. I have children, so my advice to my children is simply: you don't have no medical reason to smoke. If you do, that's between you, Jesus, and your doctor. Okay. Other than that ain't none of my business, and that's how I'm gonna leave that. Okay. I don't smoke. King. I drive for a living. Okay. So please take all of the extras, because like I said, I had to speak to some people already about, how they feel about, me and things that you don't know, and you're just running with what people say. All right, so for the moth eat. Okay, so we got that part. Okay, awake, awake, put on strength, O arm of the Lord. Awake, as in the ancient days, in the generations of old. Art thou not it that hath cut Rahab and wounded the dragon? Art thou not it which hath dried the sea, the waters of the great deep, and have made the depths of the sea a way for the ransomed to pass over? Obviously, what he's talking about. He's talking about children of Israel across dry land. All right. Therefore, the redeemed of the Lord shall return and come with singing unto Zion, and everlasting joy shall be upon their head. They shall obtain gladness and joy, and sorrow and mourning shall flee away. This is the part that got me a little bit in the emotional part. So, even I am he that comforted you. Who art thou that thou shouldest be afraid of a man that shall die, and of the Son of Man, which shall be made like as grass? And forgettest the Lord thy Maker, that hath stretched forth the heavens and laid the foundations of the earth, and hath feared continually every day because of the fury of the oppressor, as if he were ready to destroy. And where is the fury of the oppressor? The captive exile hastened that he may be loosed, and that he should not die in the pit, nor that his bread should fail. But I am the Lord thy God, that divide the sea, whose waves roared, and the Lord of hosts is his name. And I have put my words in thy mouth, and I have covered thee in the shadow of mine hand, that I may plant the heavens and lay the foundations of the earth, and say unto Zion, thou art my people. Awake, awake. Stand up, O ye Jerusalem, which hath drunk at the hand of the Lord the cup of his fury. Thou hast drunken the dregs of the cups of trembling, and wrung them out. There is none to guide her among all the sons whom she hath brought forth, neither is there any that taketh her by the hand of all the sons that she hath brought up. These two things are come unto thee. who shall be sorry for thee? Desolation and destruction and the famine and the sword. By whom shall I comfort thee? Thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets, as a wild bull in the net. They are full of fury of the Lord, the rebuke of thy God. Therefore, hear now this, thou afflicted and drunken, but not with wine. Thus saith the Lord, thus saith thy God, if I could talk, thus saith thy Lord, the Lord, thy God, that pleaded the cause of his people. Behold, I have taken out of thy hand the cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt no more drink it again. But I will put it in the hand of them that afflict thee, which have said to thy soul, bow down, that we may go over. And thou hast laid thy body as the ground, and as the street to them that went over. And I won't go into the 52. I'm not going that far. That's that. So I wanted to make sure I got into that one part, the main part about the worms. That to me, kind of, I couldn't really fully understand it. But when I started reading that, I started to get a better understanding. So it was put on my heart to share, along with checking in, letting y'all know that I didn't fall off the map. I hear the voices, and ask for me in my house, even if it's, watch this. Even if it's me, all alone, ask for me in my house, we will serve the Lord. And I did that all dramatically because the reality is that it's just me. It's just me. So it is what it is. I love y'all with the love of Christ. I keep saying this and reiterating the same thing. Love your neighbor. Bless them to curse you, as I bless them to curse you. Curse me. Bless them to curse you. Do good to them that hate you. And pray for them that despitefully use you and persecute you, that ye may be the children of your Father which is in heaven. And that's that. Some of these people that are speaking against me are people that I've actually sold into. That's crazy, right? It's true. Why? Why? Personally, I don't think they know that. So, yeah. So if an Antonio bought a book or sold into your ministry, you may not recognize the last name, but it could be me. It could be. It's just what it is. So, again, I love y'all with the love of Christ. And until next time, he doesn't give me anything other than that. So it's time for me to eat and come back down. So it's until next week where we got to go back up the mountain. So I love y'all. Until next time.